Hey, welcome to Abundant Source. I am here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin right now. I just got here yesterday, staying in this nice, spacious SUV that my mom lent me. I'm going to be here for a little while, just kind of visiting friends and maybe trying to start some like community projects and different things like that here. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, then you can let me know and maybe we can get together. Why are some people going back to eating denser and denser food types such as meat and dairy and things like that? Well, because as you go up on the conscious food chain and you begin to eat lighter and lighter and more plant-based and then more, just staying on the fruits, and the lighter you go, then the more conscious and aware you become, and you basically have to grow. This diet of plant-based raw food, fruitarianism, liquidarianism, breatharianism, is going to basically force you to grow. You can't stay stagnant any longer while you're on it, and the more intense your diet, or the lighter and more conscious your diet is, then the faster it's going to force you and challenge you to grow into your greatest self as rapidly as possible, and many people aren't ready for that. And it also just depends on what you want in your life in this lifetime. Not everyone here living is on the same path, and there's no right or wrong path. There's just different paths. And if some people want to be more grounded and physical and more sort of attached to the ego and self-identified, then that's okay, and that's one path, and that's a perfect path. And for that path, you're probably not going to be able to sustain a very light living, not very dense diet. You're not going to be able to sustain that if you're not ready to grow that fast, that quickly, and detox that hard and get to the next levels. And especially if you are doing a lot of physical exercise like bodybuilding, or just very focused on your physical strength and things like that, then meat is going to put you into this space of denseness and more sort of an aggressive state, where you feel like you have this animalistic power in you, and to where you feel like you can, use that in order to, I guess, be more powerful as far as your physical body. It's going to stimulate you in a way that allows you to be more aggressive and more sort of dominant with your physical body. And so if that's what you want and that's what your focus is, and your focus is extreme athletics, I would still say that you're going to perform better on a cleaner, raw vegan or fruitarian diet, but it's not going to stimulate you in the same way that meat is going to stimulate you and make you feel grounded. And I would say you're probably going to get sick a lot more often in this way, but if that's worth it to you to sustain a body that is massive, if it's worth it to you to push yourself to the limits at the sacrifice of your highest health, then that's okay. And if that's what you want, then that's great. And that's just not my focus, and that's just not the focus of many of the people who probably are into this channel. For myself, I'm not really very concerned about the physical body or its appearance. I definitely still have some attachment to certain areas of my body as far as looks, mostly regarding my teeth. I seem to have a pretty high attachment to the health of my teeth. But for the most part, I'm just concerned about being connected to the source of love and prana and chi, life force energy, and really holding a space of openness and receptivity to that, so that way it can flow through me and just give to everything around me. And I think that, most people watching this channel are in the same sort of vibration and want that as well. Maybe not to the same extent. Maybe you still enjoy many things that the physical plane has to offer. I still definitely do. And so when we are sort of in that, and when we want certain desires to be fulfilled that have to do with physical reality, then it's almost inevitable that we're going to be eating denser than what our soul is really calling out for. And as you begin to clean up your diet and start releasing emotions that come to the surface and start releasing different habitual patterns and beliefs that you have, then you just start to feel so connected and lose interest in the denser foods. And you can't really judge anyone by what you see in their journey right now. For the most part, most of us were in the same boat with the same programming, thinking that we need meat and dairy and all these other things. And even people that were plant-based and are going back to animal products, that still doesn't seem like there's a reasonable, cause to judge them. Their journey's not over. This is just one part of their life, and who knows what they're going through. Who knows? It's very challenging to have created community around you and that are in one set of beliefs, and then you go against it, and you're afraid of the judgment that you're going to receive. And then once you get caught, then you're still afraid of the judgment of saying that you're eating out of craving or out of fear. And so many people have just lost touch with what it felt like to be incredibly clean, or they were just in a very harsh time of detox. And like I said, if you're on these paths of very light consumption, then you're going to be detoxing a lot, not just physically but emotionally and mentally, and it's very challenging. And so sometimes you just take a break from it, and you need that comfort, and so you go back to old habits for a little while, and then sometimes you learn what you need to learn from that, and then you come right back out of it even stronger than ever. And for those who don't and continue, well, that's their choice, and I still don't see any reason to judge that. This reality is all your mental, construct, and it's all just what you perceive. And this morning I read a quote that said the only difference between a flower and a weed is a judgment. And so that's basically the same thing here. The only difference between a very light conscious person who eats healthy and between a denser being who is eating dead animal flesh is a judgment. It's your judgment. And I know it upsets many of you to think that it's wrong to just almost let people off the hook that easy, and that innocent animals and beings are being slaughtered and eaten when they don't have to be. But this is again your own mental construct, and those beings are choosing this, whether that makes sense to you or not. Life is not doing anything that life doesn't want to do, and life can't go against itself. It's all just choosing what you want and who you want to be and how you want to act. And do you want to act in a dense, violent way, or do you want to act in a lighter, more loving way? And neither of them is wrong, and neither of them is right. They're just different. And it's how we create diversity, and it's how we create infinite potential, and it's how we experience, on an experiential level, the feelings of joy and happiness and love and compassion. The only reason we can experience those things is because these other parts of ourselves are also displaying the opposite aspects of those. And that's what we've come here to choose to experience. And so we sort of need one if we want to experience the other. And that's kind of what this creation is just all about. So it's just all about whatever you want to do. I personally know my path and what I see as my highest self and what I've always seen as my highest self for the most part. And I know that I'm going to get there, and that I have this feeling that you know and you can see what your highest self looks like. And although the journey is super long and challenging and really sucks sometimes and makes you question why you're even here or living, or why you should even try to continue when there's so much pain in the growth, but you will continue, and you'll continue to see your higher self, and you'll continue to release all these toxins and all these programs that we've been taught, and there's basically no way for you to fail. So just try to be loving and patient towards yourself on the journey, and just continue to hold it in your mind. Remember where you were a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and how much you've improved, and just know that in the next 2 or 3 years you'll have improved that much more, probably even more accelerated, and that nothing lasts forever. This moment, whether it's struggling with financial issues or your health or anything else, is not going to last forever, and you will be out of it soon enough whenever you're ready. And if you just let yourself ride it out, then you will be ready at some point, and it'll be effortless. Your consciousness and your mind and your body will just say, okay, this is enough, and now we can easily move on. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Leave a comment below. Also, I offer donation-based healing services on Facebook. So if you just go to facebook.com/Highgate Holistics, then you can find my page, and I'll leave a link below in the description to that, so you can check out the services I offer and try one of them out and give a donation to help me out. And then you can also email me. I'll leave my email in the description in case you don't use Facebook. If you want to set up a session, I offer Reiki, emotion code, and like some breath work, guided breath work. So just let me know. Much love to you. Talk with you in the next video.